A lot of people are communicating based off of trauma communication lifestyles. I should coin that term. Trauma communication lifestyles. For example, they're so used to arguing with their parents growing up. Welcome, viewer. They're so used to arguing with their parents growing up and being yelled at and scolded into what to do instead of their parents having adult, mature conversations with them. Or people are so used to going back and forth with ignorant people on the streets that they run into or that they hang out with, that when they come with a person like me, they respond the way that they would respond to these trauma-based communication styles they have with other people. And I hate that, because when I'm having a conversation, I'm literally trained to listen. I'm literally trained to communicate effectively. So when I'm trying to understand where a person's coming from and having an open and curious mind, they may feel like they're being attacked. Like their opinion or their statement is being attacked, versus realizing that I'm having a curious mind and I'm trying to get on the same page or the same wavelength as the person who's making the statement or opinion. So when a person says something to me that off rip, for example, I may not agree with, or I don't necessarily understand, I'll say, okay, so, where does that come from? Or why do you think that? And they start going into, oh my God, everybody always got something to say. And people, and it's like, it's not about that. I'm not attacking you. I'm really trying to understand where you're coming from so that I can provide some sense of support or even learn something from what you're saying through your experience, your lived experience that you're having, or why you came to the decision that you're making about a situation. And it's not their fault. They don't know any better. But for me, it's annoying as hell when every person that I try to have a mature adult conversation with gets offended because they don't understand where I'm coming from. They don't understand that I'm using effective communication ways of talking, like, to them, engaging with them in a conversation. They don't see it as a conversation. They see it as, okay, now it's time to have an argument, because of their trauma of arguing with their mom about every decision they made, or their trauma of arguing with their siblings about every opinion they had, or their trauma of how people responded to statements that they've made. They're not talking to me. And I get offended by that. I really do. Because it's like, where you could be teaching me something, or where you could be having a patient's open, curious mind to learn something as well. Because I feel like that's the point of communicating most of the time. Is the point of communicating really is to learn something and to teach something, to give and take. Like, we're all mature adults. Why can't we have mature adult conversations? Why does everything have to end in an argument or in miscommunication? Why do we have to scream over each other? Like, people think that because they're talking over you and don't let you get a word in edgewise, they think that they're winning over by not letting you get a point across to them. They feel like they're winning an argument by talking over you, and then have the nerve to tell you to listen.